Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and this is our next Saturday with Stacey, YouTube class number 408. Hold on to your horses, people. This is a great class. I have got, well, let me do an update. Okay. Update on the warehouse sale. So if you placed your order during our warehouse sale, not during our regular everyday orders, but warehouse sale, this applies to you. All of the second day is now upstairs. That means we are up to order 212122. 212122. I read it so slowly because I'm dyslexic. So if you placed your order on the second day, your order is either been moved to awaiting fulfillment, it has been filled, it's either awaiting fulfillment or filled, awaiting quality control or quality controlled, awaiting shipping, or it's already on its way to you and perhaps even in your hot little hands as we speak. You could be playing with something right now. So if you are order 212122, 121, 120, 119, 118, and you've paid for your order, because of course we have the pay later option allowed anybody who wanted to take all the time, all the way up to where we got to start processing their order to pay. So you had ample time to save for it. Well, those orders are now upstairs if you've paid for your order. If you haven't paid for your order, okay, just call us if you're on day 2. Call us and let us know that you didn't receive your PayPal payment because they've all been sent, and we'll just take your payment over the phone so we can get your order out to you. You've waited quite some time for it, I know. It's been an extraordinary 18 months. We all know that, and it seems to not be getting a whole lot better, but it is what it is. You've waited an ample amount of time for it. Now all we need to do is get paid, and then I can get it on its way to you so you can enjoy all of those 25-cent and 50-cent and $1.99 and $2.99 and $3.99. There are some orders that were over $500 retail for $50. And well, that's a happy day no matter who you are. So day 2 is all upstairs. Once we get past day 2, well then day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, they're so much smaller that we'll be able to get multiple days done quickly, because gosh, I think one day there's only like 45 orders, which is, I mean, that's easy peasy when you're coming from starting with thousands of orders. Day 1 was thousands of orders, and I have one person pulling the warehouse sale, and one person quality controlling the warehouse sale, and one person shipping the warehouse sale, because we have 2 other teams of 3 working on everyday orders. Can you imagine? My gosh, when the warehouse sale is all done, we'll be able to take those 3 people who have done nothing but the warehouse sale for months and months and months and move them over to regular. Oh, and then I'll have 3 teams working. Oh, my heart be still. And yes, there'll be another warehouse sale. Absolutely. The manufacturers want it. I've gotten emails. We get calls all the time. When is she announcing the date? Just as soon as I have this one wrapped up and ready to go, we'll announce the next one this year. And gosh, product has already been shipped here for it. So it'll be great, I promise. Now, I have winter chicken dinner to tell you about. I have this YouTube, which is amazing to tell you about. Oh my gosh, it incorporates some of my most favorite things: inks, dyes, stamps, inky fingers. I know you'll put gloves on if you can't do inky fingers, but it is so much fun, and there's so much to learn. And you may already have product that's similar to this in your stash, that you'll be able to take these techniques and utilize them right away with what's in your crafty room or your craft space right now. Or maybe you've never seen some of these things and you can't wait to get them, but they've always been slightly out of reach because of the price. Hello, flash sale. I've got exclusive product for you. I've got worldwide launch on a product for you. I've got flash sale for you, It's just a whole ball of happiness here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. And like I said, you may already have something similar where you're going to be able to utilize these techniques right away, or you may be able to pick up some things that you have never been able to get before because of the price we're bringing them to you at. Now, for it to be a flash sale here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, it really has to be a flash sale. 20% off does not make a flash sale. 40% off does not make a flash sale. Sometimes even 50% off really doesn't make a flash sale. It has to be holy smokes artichokes for me to use those words, because it has to be so 20% off is just a sale. 30% off is just a sale. We want a flash sale. We want it to be so good that no matter what your budget is, hopefully these products will fall into that budget so that you can get something. I've got something, let's see, $67.92 for $19.99. That's a pretty good flash sale. I want to say that's like 70% off. So yeah, that's 70% off. That is a flash sale. So a lot of good stuff from Spellbinders. Spellbinders and their Jane Davenport is what some of the flash sale is on. And then Spellbinders said, what if we did something exclusive for you? You wanted these dies and you wanted us to change them just a little bit. But we're not going to change them for the ones we do for Spellbinders. But what if we made the ones you had wanted when you saw them? Because they showed me some stuff and it was like, oh, this is really nice. I just wish they had done this and not that. And so they said, well, we're already going to manufacture these for Spellbinders, but what if we changed them so that they did what you wanted them to do and you did them exclusively? And I'm saying, hello, sign me up. Yes. So between the flash sale that I have for you and the exclusive product done only for us that I have for you from Spellbinders, they totally double down. I mean, they put all their cards on the table and they said, let's do this. All in. But then Peggy from Stampendous said, hey, over here in Orange County, California, remember me, Peggy Stampendous? And I'm like, Peggy. So she came out and showed me product that is going to be launching in January. And I saw 3 stamps and I knew immediately, because I already knew what I was doing with Spellbinders. I knew immediately I had to have these, but I couldn't wait until January. I need them now. That's where the worldwide launch comes in. Thanks, Peggy. So between Stampendous and Spellbinders, there is some holy smokes artichokes moments here for you. I hope that you enjoy this class. It is full length, it is commercial free, it is unedited, unscripted, undubbed over, and what you see is what you get, which is just really me so grateful to be able to do what I do every day and then share it with you. We're sitting having coffee, right? That's what we're doing. So I'm gonna tilt them both. I've got winter chicken dinner to tell you about. Let me do that really quick. Oh my gosh. Really? There are far too many vowels in these names. First names are easy. I've got the first names. The last names, there's just too many vowels for me. If I could just sound things out, but I can't. Okay, so I have winter chicken dinner from last week's YouTube. These 2 people posted on a comment, which is underneath, not to the side. If you're live chatting, your comment on live chat during the premiere of this class does not count. You have to go back and post your comment down below. To be able to do that, you have to subscribe. There's this little heart. It says SMS in it. Just move your mouse over that and a subscribe bar will come up. Just click that so we can get to 100,000 followers. I would so greatly appreciate it. So post your comments before. These 2 people did just that, and then their comments were approved and they are our winner chicken dinners. They were randomly selected to get a $25 gift card, which is in their account right now, and they can go get whatever makes their heart happy. So our first winner is Edward. I got the Edward part. That was easy. It's the last name, because there's even a Z in it. Okay. Hands. I want to say it's a hard I because there's an A in front of it. And when two vowels go a walking, the first one does a talking. Hanziak? Edward Hanziak? I could be completely wrong. But Edward Hanziak is what I'm going with. Because there's an I next to the A, and when two vowels go a walking, the first one does the talking, so the I should be a hard I, but I could be completely wrong. But Edward, does it really matter? Of course it doesn't. The $25 is already in your account, no matter how I butcher your name. It's okay, congratulations. But you are not alone. Our second winner is Joyce. Again, out of the 6 letters in her last name, 3 of them are vowels. Again, 2 of them are right next to each other. The E is right next to the I. So is it Joyce? Hienis? Is that it? Joyce Hienis? I'm not sure, but it's an A for effort. That is true. It's not from lack of wanting to say it properly. I'm going with Joyce Hienis. You'll let me know either way. All right, so we have to do winner, chicken dinner dance. Are you ready? You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, ka-choo. For you. Congratulations to both of you. Your $25 is already in your online account. Go have fun. Spend it any way that makes your heart happy. Now, last week I asked everybody, which I generally don't do. I generally just say post something nice, pleasant, not about my features, my attributes, my crazy laugh, my, whatever. Just be kind. Find some kindness. And if kindness is hard to find, then just say, hey. That'll count. I'll approve it. And then you go into the running for a winner chicken dinner prize. We pick 2 winners every week. But last week I asked for something specific. I said, tell me who you're grateful for. And I do go through and I do read the posts. I try to read all of them if I can. It's a lot to go through and scroll. I can't comment back to you. Otherwise, I'd be doing nothing but answering questions on YouTube all day long. But there were a few that caught my eye, that were very heartwarming. I mean, all of the marriages that have been forever, all the wives who say, my husband who I've been married to for 10 plus, 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus years. They were all amazing, and people are grateful for their families and for their church, and it was just wonderful. But there were a few that stuck out as I was reading them. One of them is about a son, and his name is Anthony, and he has Asperger's disease, which is a form of autism. It's a high intelligence, but struggles with social cues. And so very, very smart, but doesn't know when somebody's being funny or sarcastic, or very little gray in their life. It's very black and white most often. And she was talking about how proud she is of her son Anthony, who has really stepped up to help the family and runs errands and goes to the laundromat and really has stepped up during a difficult time, and how proud she was of her son. And that just made my heart so happy because, well, I have children, and some of them have some issues that have been worked through IEPs through school through the years. So then I read about from another mom who was so proud and grateful for her daughter Mandy, because Mandy very sadly became an only child when this viewer lost her son. Her and her husband, they lost their son, and Mandy ultimately became an only child because her brother had passed away. But how Mandy was such a wonderful daughter, and how she's gotten through everything even when the times were not so easy. I mean, the heartwarming, you can read these, they're up on the site. You can go to our YouTube channel and look at last week's YouTube and read the comment. There was one from a customer, a viewer, about her husband. The viewer has she has chronic vertigo, and I've had vertigo. I understand it. I've had it more than once, and it's awful. And how without her husband, he gets her up, he keeps her upright, he gets her going, he gets her out of the house, and is just there supporting her the whole time. And then another from a customer, a viewer, who has had to have a few bone marrow transplants, a bone marrow, and I guess the first time she was engaged, she wasn't even married yet, and her then fiance just moved the wedding up, just got it done, and they got married, and before the bone marrow transplant, and how she's had to have a few more since then, and he has always been there. Even when the doctors told him to go home and prepare for the worst, he said, absolutely not. No, I am going to be positive, and we are going to get through this. Some of these posts on that YouTube were so hopeful and so endearing and so loving and so kind that if you are having a bad day, go read them, because they will just give you hope, and they will give you a perspective that maybe you didn't have before, and they will encourage you that if they can get through, so can you. So some of them just really, I would love to have been able to talk about all of them, but so many about their grandkids and their sons and daughters who have stepped up to help, and their church and God, and it was really heartwarming and touching. So well done, all of you out there. Well done. I love them all. Even the ones that just said, hey. Okay, so I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. It's me, Stacey, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Thanks for joining me today. Down we go. All right, down we go. Woohoo! Okay, let's get the camera zoomed in. I know, not high tech. I know there's lots of YouTubers out there that have overhead projectors and multi-cameras and lighting systems, and you know what I got? My two hands. That's what I got, and amazingly, they work just fine getting it all done. All right, so let's take a look at some samples real quick of what we've got for you. Now, the stamp behind it is a brand new Stampendous stamp, and I'll show you how how Claire, I think Claire made this one, how she did that. But then I also have, look at how pretty and simple is this, right? Beautiful and easy. But wait, I hope that you're going to be inspired by everything you see. Do those colors not just pop? Okay, SMS girl Renee, if you are watching this, do those colors, they pop, right? They absolutely pop. She was so worried. I'm like, oh, girlfriend, that is stunning. And if that doesn't inspire somebody, I'm not sure what will. So, what do I have for you today? Let's start with the dies. I have 4 new dies from Spellbinders. They're teeny tiny, not teeny tiny, they're about 1.5 inches, and they are nesting dies. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the die cuts that are going to be on the samples were done with this set. Now, it was done exclusively for Scrapbooking Made Simple. That makes my heart so happy. And Well, the price on them. We're only offering them in an I Want It All bundle. So we're only offering all 4. You can't buy just one, but you get all 4 for $9.99. Right? Okay. All 4. So that's, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 dies for $10. You do the math. And I think that this is where we're going to start. I love this one. I love them all. They're all so pretty. And actually, I think I have them over here. If there was ever a good time to own a gotcha tool, this is it. These dies are so little. This is a gotcha tool. It was also made by Spellbinders, surprisingly enough. For me, it is a magnet, and it will hold your dies. I mean, it holds a lot of dies. So we took the Spellbinders tool. They had one that was a little diamond, and the magnetic piece on it, the face of it was so small. I went back and said, no, I want to make one big. I want something that you can pick up dies if they're in the trash. You can just hold this into the trash. If you've lost a die, you can go over your desk and find your die. I mean, that's a little bit of happiness. So instead of going around Spellbinders and having it manufactured by somebody else, I went to Spellbinders and said, this is what I want. Would you do this for me? Because I didn't want to knock off their idea. That's wrong. Go to the people who made it and then make it better, which is, I think, what I did. And I call mine a gotcha tool for that reason, because I gotcha. So with these little dies, the gotcha tool is really nice to have. Now, Spellbinders did dies that are similar to these. I don't know if they're in the same shapes, but they're similar to these. And they don't cut solids and frames. They only do one or the other. I can't remember if theirs just does solids or if theirs just do frames. But I wanted you to be able to do both of them. So I had them remake the dies into what I had wanted. And I'm going to show you how easy these are to work. So let's just cut. I'm going to take some cardstock in a couple different colors, so then you're able to see all right. And I'm going to bring my Big Shot machine on over. So I'm using a Sizzix Big Shot machine today. And you can use these absolutely with a Sidekick, no problem at all. You can use them with a Cuttlebug, with a Big Kick, with a Big Shot Plus, with a Big Shot Pro. You can use them with a Vagabond. You can use them with a Vagabond 2. You can use them with a Gemini, with a Platinum 6, a Platinum 8, a Grand Caliber if you still have one of those. These are about 1 inch to 1.5 inches at the largest, maybe a little bit larger than 1 inch, but about 1.5 inches at its largest. And they just are so pretty when it's all done. So I can take one there. Can I get all 4 of them in here? No, I'm gonna have to cut my paper down just a little bit. Let's just slice my paper in half. 1, 2, 3, ABC, just cut my paper down. That way I can get all 4 colors. And there, and there, and there, and there. Now I am working on a magnetic platform today, and you can see why. Magnetic platforms are sold as an accessory to a Sizzix machine, whether you have a Vagabond or even a Sizzix Fabi machine or a Vintage machine from time gone by. It's still going to work in all of the Sizzix machines with the exception of the Boutique, which is that little purse, and the Sidekick. It's too wide. But a magnetic platform allows you to put your die down and then it won't move. It means you don't have to tape it down anymore. The beautiful thing is, well, you don't have to tape anymore. The not so beautiful thing is it is an accessory and it runs about $40. So it's more of a want than a need. But if you are doing any type of stamping at all, stamping and die cutting, you really do want a magnetic platform. So I have got my magnetic platform, I've got a cut plate, I've got my paper, my die, and a do not cut plate, and I'm going to send these through. A precision base plate is not needed because these are such simple open frame dies. There's really nothing to them. They're just easy peasy. There's nothing intricate about these at all. So let's pull it over and see what I got. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All perfectly nested into each other, which then can be used. You can cut it again and again and again and start making all of your designs. That is how that is how that card was done, by cutting it again and again and then putting it together to make the shape. It would help if I had it the right way. There we go. So these are now solid shapes. And I could cut it again and change it up or leave it the same, really up to me. But what if I wanted something like a frame die? What if I didn't want it to be a solid piece like this? What if I wanted it to be a frame? See, this is where having, yes, okay. And you're like, what do you mean a frame, Stacey? Well, anytime you have nesting dies and you put 2 nesting dies together, it will create a frame and a solid. So let's do that one. And while we're at it, we'll do this one. So a frame and a solid. So I've just laid them in there. Bring over my magnetic platform. Now, depending on where they lay in your magnetic platform, they may want to jump, because in your magnetic platform you have magnets spaced every so often and evenly throughout the platform. So the magnets are pulling the dies and they're going to want to jump to where that magnet is. It is easier to move the die to where the magnet wants it to jump to than for you to try to force the magnet to move. That's never going to happen. You can try. You can keep trying to, if the die wants to move this way, but you keep moving it that way, it's going to keep pulling back this way. Just move the die to where the magnet wants to pull it to, and you will find yourself so much happier. But I just moved that one when I lifted. You know what? I'm going to put it on here first, and then I just moved the one here. So let me put it on there and move it over here. See, it wants to jump. So I just need to find where it wants to jump to. And then there, center it. Easier to do it, easier to move your die to where it wants to go to than try to force something that isn't going to happen. So now I send it on through, and I moved it again. Gosh darn it, Stacey. Maybe I will take just a little bit of paper, just a little bit of Sizzix tape. This is their maker's tape. And just put it down, just so when I put my top over it, it doesn't move. You all good? Okay, go for it. It's only paper. Send it on through. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. And now what do I have? One, two, three. So now I have 2 frames and 2 solid pieces. So I could layer my frames into each other. I could put my solid pieces into each other. These are the opposites. I have options. My layering options are amazing. I could take that one and put that on top of there and then fill it in with my green one. And you go. And have that. I mean, you just have it. It goes again and again and again. I could put that in there and take my yellow one and put my yellow one on top. But by having both the frame and the solid, it gives you the opportunity to mix and match any way you see fit. Can I cut more than one sheet of paper at one time? Yes. The dies will cut through on not uber heavy cardstock, but just normal cardstock. Chances are I can get them to go through 2 sheets at one time. So let's take, and we'll do the blue and the blue and the yellow, or I'm sorry, the green and the yellow. There. See, it wants to move to where the magnet is. Easier to move your paper. Much easier. And then in the teal and the red, I can do the smaller and put my top plate on and send it through. So now I'm going through 2 pieces of cardstock, but this is Sizzix cardstock, so it's 80 pound. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. If I was using 100-pound paper, it might be a bit more of a challenge to get it to cut both sheets. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, die, and my die, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, cut through 2 sheets without any problem at all. Could you push 3 sheets? You can try, it can't hurt. And then I can start to build. I can start building anything that makes my heart happy. I can put them all the way down so it looks like a petal. I can move them up so that they're centered. It's entirely up to me what I want to do. I can put a frame in the center. These little dies are so useful. Again, I could move them all the way down and put that all the way down and almost have it look like it's a little petal. or I can have it very geometric. And I can put the green with the blue in the center because the green's a frame. And then I can throw a yellow in the center of that. I can throw the red. Well, the green's the same size. I can throw a red in the center and then a yellow in a center and just start to build. And what's the easiest way to get these down? Without question, sticky dots. So these are my microfine sticky dots. They are without a question the easiest way to work with small dies or intricate dies. On the page is a sheet that has no sticky dots, and on a sheet that's got hundreds of thousands of little micro dots. See, it's sticky. These dots are easy to use. Somebody had said that because the liners are the same color, they write like non-sticky on this side. So that way they know when they put their paper down which side to put it down. So I could take this one and this one and this one, and I could take all of these little ones and just put them down here. It's kind of like a Xyron machine without it being a Xyron machine. It's a lot less than a Xyron machine, that's for sure. And when you're doing an intricate die, your heart is happy because it is so much easier to do. And it only picks up the dots where the paper is. So any place where there is no paper, those dots are going to remain behind. So I close it up. Give a press, and then I can come back and use these whenever I want. Do I have to use them right away? No, I don't have to. I can come back and use them anytime I want. So let's take maybe this yellow, and I'll put the blue down, and then I'll put the green down, and then maybe I put the yellow down again, only in a frame, and the green comes through it, and look at how simple and easy is that. I can put the maybe I put the yellow, no, put the blue down, and then I can do the red, and then I could put a green frame around it if I wanted. And now I have that look. I could take the blue frame, and I could take the red frame, and I could take the green, and now I have that look. Point is, with just a couple cuts, you've given yourself an opportunity to do whatever makes your heart happy. And at $10 for, what did I say, 18 dies, something like that, it's a crazy good price because they're functional, they're versatile, they're useful. So that is how these dies work. Not hard at all. And with the different shapes, you can imagine all the different things you can do, because all of these are going to cut your frame or your solid. Wait till you see the samples. And $10 get you all of it. So if you have crafty friends that you need to get a Christmas gift for or a holiday gift for, and your budget's $10, here you go. And this is thoughtful and useful and something that they can go back to. It's a tool, so they can use it again and again. They can keep it for as long as they're crafting. Or if your budget is less than $5 a person, everybody gets their own shape, and then on your crafty days that you get together, everybody pulls their shape out and you all mix and match while you're crafting. Absolutely, something for everybody's budget, but we're gonna do so much more with these. I wanted to show you how easy they are to use. All the shapes that we have are like this, and this is the first set. The second set that we'll be doing will come out later this year, so this will be set number 1. The second set is also, it will be $10, $9.99, and you'll get 4 different shapes. This is set number 1. But what if we wanted to do, should we go into the inks? Okay, so we've got an overview on the dies. I think I'm gonna move to the inks. Yeah, see, it's that good, right? They all pick up, easy peasy mac and cheesy. Love it. So if you don't have a gotcha and you have dies, you're gonna want a gotcha. It's only by Scrapbooking Made Simple. You can't get it anywhere else. Even though the dies are by Spellbinders, you can't go to Spellbinders and get these. They're only here. So let's talk about some of the flash sale items that are coming that I have for you today. And I think I'm gonna start with the inks. These are watercolor ink. First off, there is enough in these these containers to last you a lifetime. When I say a lifetime, I mean a lifetime. There are 8 different colors. They're by Jane Davenport. I don't know why they are on a flash sale. I don't know. I have a feeling that they probably were supposed to go to maybe Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, and something happened and it didn't go through. So Spellbinders has them left and available to sell to us for an amazing price. So they usually retail for $8.50 each. That would make all of them almost $68. We're doing all 8 for $19.99. And wait till you see how little teeny weeny you use. So to go with this, I also have got Jane's book. I know it's a book. You're like, Stacey, what are you doing with a book? Well, they call this her an art journal. And that's what it was sold as an art journal. And inside is amazing watercolor paper. I mean, tons and tons and tons and tons of watercolor paper. And I've ripped out a good 15 sheets out of this. I wonder if it says how many sheets you get. Let's see. 9 by 12. I don't know if it says how many sheets you get. I'll open one up and see if I can figure it out, because it is a huge amount. 9 by 12. I don't see where it says how many sheets you get, so let's just open it up. Shoop. So it's a hardbound book, and it was meant to be an art journal, and if you would like to use it as an art journal, absolutely. But for the price we have it for as part of the flash sale, you can't get this kind of quality watercolor paper for this price. You just can't. So let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. Holy smokes. Well, okay. I'm at 22 and I still have 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, maybe 42 sheets of paper in here, 9 by 12. Okay, and it's quality watercolor paper. I am taking it and ripping it out of the book to use. The book is bound. I can keep the book and do something on the book later, absolutely. But I can't bring you this kind of quality watercolor paper in this quantity and in this size for the price that we have it, except for on the flash sale. So we'll get to that later, but I want to talk about inks. Now her inks are highly pigmented, and go a really long way. A little goes a long way. So I'm gonna take, let's see, maybe if I take one of my other sheets, let's just put that there for now. Maybe I'll use some watercolor paper just kind of as a palette. But I want you to see how far it goes. So I'm going to drop some ink, and she does have the water brushes, which is also part of a flash sale. So you get water brushes, you get the book, you get some misters, and you get some fine tip bottles. That's all part of another part of the flash sale where it's $55 worth of product for $19.99. Amazing. So let's take this out and let me daub it on. Okay, I want you to see. I'm hoping you can see. Let me go in a little tighter. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see that I'm literally going to do a dot. That's it. I'm going to do a dot. And then I can come in. I've got a water brush here. What's a water brush? It's got water in it. Your nib is going to get stained. You can't worry about that. You just got to let it be. But a water brush has water in it, and when you squeeze it, the water comes out so that you're able to paint and not have to dip into water. So if I move this, spread it out a little bit, and then I squeeze my brush, and I add a little bit of water. And draw it out. And then squeeze my brush and a little more water. And every time I add water, my color is lightening. It's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Okay, so there's one color. That was Berrylicious. Let's do all the colors so you can see all of them. But again, this is Fresh Air. Okay, well, I already did a dot. I guess, well, I wanted it over there. Okay, 2 dots. 2 dots. And I'm going to wipe out my water brush. Are these colors meant to blend? Yes, yes they are. They're watercolor, so they are meant to blend. And then let's add some water. And that color will lighten. And then let's add some water. And that color will lighten. Okay, let's go to my next color. Put those over there. And let's do purple. At least I think it's purple. We'll see. 1 dot. Let's get my blue out of my brush. And let's pull down And then we can add some water. Oh, this is a very soft purple. And just go down. If I want it darker on the top, can I go back and add? I can. Just a dot though. Just a dot. And now it's a little darker on my top. Let's add some water. And get it to lighten out. Okay, so that's purple. Let's do pink or whatever. This is watermelon. Let's see what watermelon looks like. A drop. And then let's add some water and pull it down. And then let's add some water and pull it down. And let's go to our next color. And a drop. So if you can get this much color out of a drop, imagine how long it will take you to go through that bottle. And as I add more water to it by squeezing my water brush, the lighter my color becomes. Okay, so let's go and do this one. Get my blue out. And some water. And I have two left. But then you can see all the colors. And you can see how vibrant they are. Some water. And some water. And then my last color. Oh my gosh, is that gorgeous? Holy smokes, artichokes. And I'm just pressing my water brush. I'm just pressing it, and the water is coming through the nib. So these are your colors. Intense, all the way down to soft. You have options. One color gives you so many different saturations of that color. They're beautiful and they're easy to use. Let's take this one and let's go ahead, and there's several different ways of using them. You can certainly, like here's her water, her little bottle. You can certainly maybe give the watercolor paper. Now her watercolor paper has a rugged side, a bumpy side, and a smooth side. So you'll have to choose which side you want to use. But then you can go in and you can, I'm going to do the back side just so it softens out. So I'm just misting the back side so it lays back down again. You can go in and, oh, that's a lot. Okay, a lot of color, a lot of color. Not many dots. You'll be okay with not many dots. Okay, so that's what I've got. Little water. And then they start to move and blend and fill in. And you can make the most beautiful backgrounds. And depending on how much water you've got, I could take a piece of this, another piece of my watercolor paper. It's the other half of this one. And I could literally just lay it down. And make a pattern. You don't like a pattern? Not a problem. Get it wet. And it'll start blending into each other. You want more color in here? Okay. Do we, don't we? Do we, don't we? No guts, no glory. Now the red that I put in is blending to make purple, or I can mist it and let it run and do its thing. Or I can bring this one back over and put that there and let it do its thing. It's all about options because you've got watercolor paper that is letting you work with the product while it is still what they call open. It lets you move it and blend it, and the colors are beautiful and they're rich and they're vibrant. And you can just play until your little heart is content. I could add more water to it and make them move again. I could do it with the water not being on my paper at all. I'm going to put these two over here just to dry for just a minute and grab another one. Okay, let's grab another one. And instead of misting my paper first, I could put a couple drops down. Ooh, it's a lot. And a couple drops down. And maybe even, woo, Stacey. Okay. Let me wipe that off my, well, maybe I won't wipe that off. I got it right there. Maybe I'll come back and get that up. And then I didn't put water down on my paper first. And as it's running everywhere, I can either blend and move it, I can use another piece of paper to help sop some of it up. These are, look at, I've got it all over my desk. I'm just gonna mist. And I'm going to pick it up. Oh. It's all about what makes your heart happy. I can mist some more. And I've got some space there, and I could go in and pick it up here. It's up to you, but it's easy, easy, easy to use. So let me wipe this up. I could continue to put paper down to wipe all this up and not waste any of it. But I'm wanting you to see just how little you need to make something so beautiful. I could take and half a sheet and let's see, let's throw some blue and some dark blue and some watermelon, although that might be really red, and I could take a baby wipe. And go in. I could add some water. And watch it go. What works for you? Is it all a little too crazy for you? Are you like, oh, I just don't know? Wait until you see what you do with this when it's all you're doing is playing right now. You're just making lovely backgrounds. I could go in and I could smoosh that around if I wanted to. I happen to like the drops. I think the drops are super cool. Add some water to them, get them to spread out. Is that watermelon? No, I used a different color red. Oh well. Get those drops to, I mean, that's so cool. And just kind of let it be. If it's too much, go in there and sop some up with another piece of paper. It'll mute it instantly for you. And then all you have to do is, you can even take your finger, get rid of that little line if you don't want that little line, and soften that out. But we're going to make beautiful things with these. We are. So many different ways to use the watercolor paper, including, and the inks, including just painting with them. Like painting with them? Yeah, right now we've just been making backgrounds, lots and lots and lots of backgrounds. But what if I took, let's cut another piece of paper. What if I took my watercolor paper and the stamp set that coordinates with the dies. So this is done by Spellbinders, again, just for us. Thank you very much. Where you've got happy birthday, congratulations, thank you. Then you've got all of these tiny little sentiments that fit in all of the little tiny dies, and then these that can be colored. What if I opened that up and let's see, let's get a block. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me move this one over just a little bit. So I put all 4 of them in a line with space in between. And now I'm going to ink them up. And I'm going to use my India ink from Hero Arts because India ink is not going to move with water. I'm going to be able to put water down and it's going to stay in place, and that's super important. It is not a stays-on ink. This isn't a permanent ink. This is a pigment-based India ink. So stays-on ink is meant for when you are using it on something that you need it to be permanent. Glass, plastic, metal, anything that is non-porous, you want to use a stays-on ink. But when you're playing with watercolors or watercolor pencils or any type, distress inks or oxide inks, anything that you're going to get wet, you need an ink that is not going to move with the water. This also won't move with alcohol. So alcohol inks are great with it too. Let's bring over my gush pad and put my paper down. A gush pad is a pad that allows you to stamp a little bit better than, well, a lot better than not having it, because it allows the stamp to make good contact with the paper because it's gushing into something. If you're stamping on a hard surface, now I haven't used the stamp before, so I might have to stamp off. If you're stamping on a hard surface, that stamp really has no place to go. There's nothing for it to sink down in and make better contact with the paper. Oh, that's not bad. With a gush pad, and unfortunately we're sold out of our gush pads and I have no idea when we'll get them back in. With a gush pad, and it's thicker than a standard piece of foam. The density is a little different, and a mouse pad generally doesn't do the trick. You need something thicker than that. Doris used to make gush pads or made stamping platform or pads, but they're out of business. So unfortunately, I heard Stephanie Bernard has something. I just don't know the price on it. Our gush pad was $1.99 and it's twice the size, so you could cut it and get two. I'm hoping that we're able to get them back sometime soon. Okay, so, and let me do one more. So I'm just going to go down. Now with an India ink pad, it does stain your stamp. So it is going to stain your clear stamp. So it's always going to have that black. But I'm okay with that black. It actually allows me to see my image better than before. Will that black transfer if I change my ink to red? No, it will not. Okay, so I've stamped myself a nice little assortment. And now I can choose to paint with my, I'm gonna use a piece for a palette so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got pretty little images in each side of the stamps. Just pretty little simple images inside each of the stamps. And now to paint, I can either use her more fine tip water brush, and in the I Want It All bundle you do get both, but I'm going to go ahead and use from Ozzy Andrew his cute little paint brushes. You get, I think, 50 of these, and they are teeny tiny. You get 50 of these. They're reusable. You can have one for every color family or whatever you want, but it allows you to go in and I'm going to put it on here just so you can see a little bit of a drop, and I mean a little bit of a drop. There, a little bit of a drop. Can you see how little that drop is? That's what I'm going to use. Look, I got it on the side. Clean it up. Okay, so a little bit of a drop, and then I'm going to put some water on my craft mat. Now I can go in and pick up, oh, I just saturated all of my water with that. I can go in and pick up, and I can come in and start to paint. Oh, a little bit more of a drop. Drop, drop, drop. There we go. Add some water to that and come in and start to paint my flower. And the more water I use, the more water I incorporate, the lighter my color will be. So I'm putting it on the paper so you can see how the color can come out. So I can have a full-bodied color, or I can go in there, I'm going to do 2 of them. Full-bodied color, or I can go in there and start really light. Because I added a lot of water to it. And then pick up some of the darker color. And just kind of blend that in. I can start almost with nothing. And then pick up some of my mid-tone. And then come in full body. So totally different looks. I should put a little bit of something in that center. Totally different looks. All using the same ink. And it was a drop. Now it's absorbed into my watercolor paper because that's what it's supposed to do. If I was using it on my craft mat, it wouldn't be absorbing it at all. So I would still have a dot of ink there. But even though it's absorbed into my watercolor paper, that doesn't mean that I can't still use it. No, I just have to decide how much water I want to put in there, and then I can come paint with it. It really is that simple to use these. They're versatile. So I've painted them almost three different colors. Let's add a little darkness to this one. So dark, a little lighter, a little lighter. With this little guy, that lets you get in there for that fine detail without it getting absolutely everywhere. One tiny little drop. It really is just a tiny little drop. And I still have all this left to be used. I could come over here and come in here and do my little daisies. And start painting my daisies. There's so much ink in that one little drop. How they got it so deep, the depth so amazing, the saturation so beautiful. Well, I guess I can understand because originally they were $8.50, and that would make sense. That's a beautiful product for that price. But my gosh, for $19.99 for all of them, that's a holy smokes artichokes. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this up, and then remember these coordinate with my dies. So then I can take my dies and cut them. I can cut them in a little bit bigger so they have a little bit of a frame around them. Let me cut off. And let's put those there. We're going to play with those in just a minute. Bring over my machine, and I can let's go with this one, and let's go with this one. Oh, don't magnetize to each other. Oh, maybe I'll do two at a time so they don't try to grab each other. So one. Send it on through. And now I've cut the shape out with a border. I could use the smaller and it would fit right on it and not have a border. You have options, you have choices. You do, you do. What if I took and did the smaller ones? So let's try this one with the smaller, that cuts right to it. And the diamond, that cuts right to it. I think that's pretty close, so I'm going to go for it. Of course, I think I just moved it, but that's okay. We're going for it. So now, do we like it with the border around it? Do we like it without the border around it? Can we do something with that border? Sure we can. We can take our color here and put just a little drop, just a drop, and we can go in with our thin watercolor brush if we want. A little bit of water because I don't have water in this brush. This one's empty. This one has water. To fill this up, you twist and turn, add some water right in, now I've got water in my brush, close it up. And to get the water to come out, there's two sides that say push. You just push. So I could mix these together. And I could just paint the side.
if I wanted the border, but I didn't want it to just be the ivory watercolor paper. And again, the nice thing about this watercolor paper is that you've got a smooth side and a textured side. Most watercolor paper comes with one or the other.
And now I've put a little frame around it.
On these, gosh, I could bring back, oh, I could bring this back and, ooh, I'm gonna tear it. That's okay, tear it.
And I could lay that right there.
And I could go in and I could color my little daisies. And they're so cute. If I didn't want it down as a flower, I could put it in the center and make it a little more geometrical. Everything layers, everything's meant to nest and to work together. It's all about what's going to work best for you. The little stamp set that goes with, I mean, it's meant to coordinate together. And easy to do. Can you use the stamps on their own? Absolutely. You could stamp the hexagon pattern again and again and again and make a honeycomb pattern out of these and then color them in. Sure, you don't have to use them with the dies. I could stamp the... Look at how good I am at not making a mess right now. I'm so proud of myself, I have to tell you. I could go in and grab them. And this time let's change to a small block because I'm only going to use one of them. And my ink and my gush pad. No die required. What if you just wanted to stamp a pattern? I double stamp that one. What if I just want to make a background and stamp a pattern and continue to stamp until I'm off my It's up to you what you want to do. You've got options. I could twist this and turn this so that my flowers are not all the same. I could come in after doing that and add my watercolor if I wanted. This isn't going to move. So I can certainly go in there and add my watercolor. What color do I want? I don't know. There's too many choices for me sometimes. Maybe I stamped and said, maybe I don't want to sit there and paint all of them at one time. Okay. Let's make them move into each other. Oh, I love them. I love it when it does that and it just kind of splashes everywhere. Although now I'm a little dark. Now I'm a little dark. So what am I going to do to get rid of my darkness? I can either go in with a baby wipe, or I could have put another piece of paper on top of it. And put your sentiment down there and mat it on something. I mean, what do you want to do with it? It's amazing. And so simple. Using watercolor inks, it's really about not trying to achieve anything, but just letting it be. It's a lesson in giving up and giving over a little bit. Now, I did these a while ago. And I love how beautiful they are. But what do I want to do with them? It's still a little bit wet, but not bad. I can take a heat tool and dry it. What if I took the Stampendous stamp? Here, this is, look at how, when I saw this pattern, I immediately knew I had to have it. Why? Because every one of my dies will go fabulously with it. There's not a bad pattern in the bunch. What's my other one? 1, 2, 3. Oh, the hexagons. Yeah, hexagons. Not a bad pattern in the bunch. I can stamp this and just cut out from the stamp all my different layers. It's beautiful. So what if I grabbed my India ink and inked this up? Okay, so I've got a nice amount of ink. I don't have a stamp positioner, and this is a big stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp upside down, which means I'm going to leave the stamp this way. And I'm going to take my paper right to it. And I don't know. There. And give a good back rub. Gosh, that's so pretty. That's beautiful. Can you come in here? If you don't like the negative space, which is what the white is, can I come in here and fix it? Of course I can. I can add more color to it. Don't remember what colors I used, but I can add more color to it. Sure I can. If you're not into the white negative space, I happen to like the white negative space. Sure I can. In fact, I can take probably what's on my baby wipe and go in there and add color. Just so it's not so bright white anymore. And look at that. Poof. Easy to do. But I still have this left over. What can I do with that? I can come in here and I can die cut Gosh, I almost hate to lose that piece. I can die cut with this little piece that's left over. All the little pieces you keep. Because you can use them again and again. You can die cut from them again and again and again. Oh, magnet on magnet. Okay, there we go. With the scraps. And then you start building a pattern, or you build your pattern using the diamonds. Not even on top of each other. Just layering them in a line to fill in that pattern. But you've got these beautiful sheets of uniqueness. These beautiful sheets that didn't take any time, didn't cost a lot of money, and allowed you to play. But then when you're all done playing, make something that is stunning. Stunning. We can take the stamp from Stampendous. Ink it up. India ink, because I'm working with water. India ink. Smooth side. I want the smooth side down. Rub, rub, rub. Oh, it's so pretty. And then go in, and like I did before, here's the red, just a drop. Just a drop. I don't know if you can see, there it is. There's my drop. Go in with my water. Just a spray. Clean my brush, even though get all that purple out of it. And I can either use the water in the brush, or I can use this to dilute. In fact, I'm going to use, oh, Stacey, 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 where did it go? Hello, mini one. Oh, here it is. I'm going to use the super fine one. No blue. And it is a bristle brush. It's not foam. It is actual bristles in your brush. So I'm going to use I'm going to start really light. And I'm going to color one of my birdies red, really light, kind of to put a base down. Okay, so I've got just a base color of red down. And then I can come back in and not add any water. Look at that little drop. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that ink, just a tiny bit, and I'm going to add it to the bottom. And I'm going to make some shading and some shadow. And remember, they're meant to blend into each other. Of course, I just stuck my paper in it. And in no time at all, poof. Start with a light. Maybe you don't want to make more abstract art. Maybe you don't want to do backgrounds. Maybe you just want to sit and play and color. In front of the TV, you want to have control over where you put what. I understand. I had to learn to let go when I started playing with watercolor inks. I had to say, okay, I give in, I give over, but I love what I do. It's beautiful by the time you're done. A little more. Get it really saturated at the bottom, really dark color. Ta-da! Don't like the red? No problem. What if we took a little bit of the blue, a drop, and I'm going to borrow some of this water. It's amazing how far they go. And I'm going to really saturate it so that my color is so light. Just a super light baby blue. Super light baby blue. And then, how about one more down here? Super light baby blue. I don't know if you can see that. I'm probably zoomed in too much. Little light baby blue. Oh, getting a little purple in there. My red is mixing with my blue. All right, I'm okay with that. All right, so I have some really light blues and then one that's turning purple because my red is mixing with my purple. Now I can come back with my dark blue with like no water at all. And just add. So you're wondering what I'm doing. What happens when you do this? You're taking the ink and the water off the brush, almost to a dry brush effect. It helps you shade. It's almost a dry brush effect because I keep removing the water and the ink so that it is gradually getting lighter as I brush with it. Look at him. Isn't he cute? Taking my ink off my brush and then just blending it in. And where I want more of a shadow, I just add the darker blue and then blend it out. But a little goes such a long way. You can do this. I used the finer tip because these were a little bit bigger than what I was trying to do in my small stamps. These are a little bit easier to color with something as small as the Couture Creations little blenders. I could go in there, I got water going on in there. I could go in there and add my green to do my leaves. Got a little color where I don't want it. I'm just gonna kind of wipe it up. Let's wipe this up. A little green. A dot. I don't know if you can see it, but the dot is right in there. And a little bit of water. Start light. So take a little bit of that color and mix it. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at that. It's just, it goes forever. And then I can come in here and paint some of my leaves. My super light color, my base color. And then I can go back with a little straight color, straight dark in that little dot that I did. And you see how it adds that dark color to the bottom? Now all I have to do is take it and wipe it off and blend up, and wipe it off and blend up. And before you know it, you've got shading and shadow and highlight. There are so many different mediums out there to use for coloring. But when you're using an ink that isn't in a pen or a marker, it gives you the opportunity to not only use it like I'm using it as you would a pen or a marker, but then to play to make those beautiful backgrounds. And then of course I could take this and die cut out my different shapes to use them on a layout, a card, mixed media, whatever I want to do. Options are mine. But what else do we have? Well, I did a few more. Let's see which ones I want to use. What if I use this one? I'm going to clean this up. Yeah, I'm going to clean this up. And let me spray it and get it all off. So the India ink is going to come off a rubber stamp easier than it will. It won't stain a rubber stamp like it will a clear stamp. India ink, if you use alcohol, it will come off on it with a rubber stamp, but a clear stamp you're going to have a much harder time. But I think I know what I want to do with this. Let's get it dry. And I'll take both of these. So I'm going to take my Hero Hues Unicorn ink. And I'm going to ink up, that's not the one, where's mine? Well, that should be the one, why is it, oh, there it is. I'm going to ink up my Hero Hues Unicorn ink. What's Unicorn ink? It is a white pigment-based ink. It's probably the best white ink on the market for an ink pad. And when you use it on colors, it's beautiful. It can be very soft and subtle as almost like a watermark background, or it can be very bold and defiant and say, I'm white, I'm a white detail. It's up to you. It is by Hero Arts. Really, for a white ink pad, it's the one that we use. It just actually does what it says it's going to do. So I'm going to take my image and I'm going to set it down and rub. And hopefully I didn't move it. No, I didn't. Ha 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 ha. And remember when I said it can be soft and subtle? It almost looks like a beautiful watermark. It's there, but it's not. You can see the beautiful detail, but it's not so much in your face. It's elegant and reserved and refined, and the detail is beautiful, where you've got that loud pop of wow mixed in with that soft of the flowers and the birds and the leaves on there, the beautiful birds on there. So you've got the contrast between the two, which makes it interesting. It makes it beautiful. I would not throw this away. I would totally use this. In fact, I don't remember what colors I used, but that's a lot. But look at how beautiful the color is. What if I took the back of this one? And I came in here and I just kind of picked some of it up, and I can smudge and smear and get that in there. And I'm mixing the old color with the new color. And I wonder if we can even just a touch of this, just a touch, because it comes out, oh no, that's, yeah, no, maybe, is this the right one? Okay, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, oh, see, that's even too much. And then I could add a little texture in there. By texture, I'm just taking my baby wipe. Ooh, right? Right? Oh, I can take some off the side. Literally off the side of the bottle is where I'm getting it from. Okay. So I need this to dry. I think while I do that, while that dries, I will move to this one. So what if we took our birds again and we inked it up again with our Hero Hues. Good press. I almost don't want to do what I'm going to do to it because it came out so perfect. But what if I took some white, opaque, detailed embossing powder and put it over the top? Because I'm using a white pigment-based ink, my detailed embossing powder is going to hold to that pigment-based ink. I didn't have to use Versamark, and because I wanted it white, I went ahead and used the white ink from Hero Arts. That way if I miss a spot, not the end of the world. Okay. So now I can take my heat tool, and you'll see the difference between the two. Heat tool. And you'll see the difference when I heat this. This is a Sizzix heat tool. It's got 2 speeds. It is not as intense as a full cylinder tool, but it doesn't take nearly as long as the Ranger Heat It tool. So the Sizzix is kind of a combination of the two. It allows me to not burn anything, but it doesn't take forever to heat. And I do have the 2 speeds, so I can start off low and end high, or if you're comfortable, you can just start high. And I can get so close. And what's gonna happen is that embossing powder, that is a ground up plastic, with the heat from the heat tool, is going to melt into a solid. And I can see it changing. You can see it brighten up and turn colors. You'll see it brighten to a nice bright white. I need to make sure it all melts. Otherwise, I'll be able to just wipe it right away, because it started out as a powder and we need to make it into a solid. And because I started with white ink, if I missed a spot, it's not the end of the world, because the ink underneath is a soft white. So now you have to decide. Are you about the bright white? Are you about the super soft watermark in the background that you barely see? But there it is. To be so subtle and understated, there's a dramatic difference between the two. But again, you don't have to choose. You can do both. You have options. So pretty. Now I wonder if I take this, and I wonder if I don't know. This might be too detailed. And if I let that sit for a minute, I don't know if I got it wet enough. Will the stamp, the image, react with the ink, almost giving you a lift? I don't know. Nope, not enough water. Not enough water on my stamp. If I missed it, will it be too much water? If I got too much water now? Did I let it dry too long? No, it's starting, it's starting to lift. Can you see it starting to lift? Again, putting a beautiful, subtle background to it. And as that water stays on there and dries, it will lighten the paint. It will lighten the watercolor more and more and more. Oh yeah. Okay, that works for me. I'm happy with that because as it dries, it will continue to lighten the text. Can you stamp with the inks? Well, let's give it a whirl, shall we? Let's add, how about some pink? A couple drops. That's a lot, probably too much. Maybe a little purple. And maybe a little bit of my light blue. And what if I missed it? And I took a baby wipe and I just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to pick it all up. But I want it to move. Was that the pink I used? Anybody? Oh. Okay, a lot of water going on. I don't know. All we can do is try. Let's grab a piece of watercolor paper and see what we get. Oh, I've got one right here. I didn't do it on the smooth side. can feel this is the smooth side. Oh, a little runny. But we still got ink. Let's try again. Let's just keep going. So I want to make sure I put the smooth side down. Oh, better. And you think we can mist a light mist again? And smooth side down. Oh, see, I'm loving it. I've got the over inky. I've got the middle inky. I mean, they're beautiful. And look at how the colors blend into each other. They're lovely. What if we try? How many more times do you think we can go? If I press really hard. I just think they're fabulous. And there's still ink on here. I can still go. And then when I'm done with, how many did I get? And there's still ink on there. I still could go more. How many did I get? Then I'm just going to take it and wipe it off with a baby wipe. If you can imagine it, you can try it. If you can say, I wonder if, then you can do it. When you're getting 40 plus sheets of this paper in that book to play with, and you cut it into quarters, that's 160 different pieces of watercolor paper to start exploring with and creating with. And when you've got something so beautiful and so easy to create and vibrant, that would be hard to do with an ink. You'd have to use several colors, and I don't know that you would get the blend that you're able to get with the watercolor. I used 3 colors, but there's way more than 3 colors on here because there's different saturation levels, and they've blended to make new colors. They've all done what they were supposed to do. They created a new blend, a beautiful blend. They've let them marry into each other to give you the opportunity to play. Oh, see, look at, it's coming up. Look at that. It lifted for that soft, subtle, just yummy, yummy look. And this is all done with the inks. Not to mention throwing in then all the dyes that can be done and all the combinations that you can do. To make such pretty things. You take all the scraps from this, all the little pieces you would throw away and you die cut all your little shapes, because this is a valuable piece. I wouldn't throw this away. This, I would color over it or stamp on it. You take it and then you die cut all of your different shapes, all your different pieces, so that you can layer all on top. This whole piece that you can layer, or you keep it with your solid colors. And you use your stamps. Options after options after options after options at a holy smokes artichokes price. Love this. What are we gonna do? I won't do anything with it now, but gosh, Claire, Renee, does that speak? I mean, doesn't this just scream, finish me? It does, but I won't. Okay, so we did a lot today, a lot we did. We talked about, gosh, I don't even know if I can find them. We talked about the dies and how small, good things come in small packages. You look at these and you go, how would I ever use these? Wait till you see the samples on how we use them. Good things come in small packages. Amazing. And then we played with the stamp set that is meant to coordinate with these dies. They are meant to go together. It just gives you another added option. And all these little sayings fit inside the dies. And then we talked about watercolor paper. And the fact that the Jane Davenport, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what major it was supposed to go to, but it didn't go to them and it ended up with me. Happy day for us. You know, no, we don't want it anymore, is our Wahoo Kachoo. I mean, when you have a manufacturer that is able to give you such beautiful product. Oh, I have spilled everywhere. The girls are going to give me nothing but grief about this. But when you have a manufacturer that's able to give you such beautiful product because another retailer said, nah, we'll pass. I wouldn't have passed Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's or whoever it was they were meant to go to. But we're sure glad you did. Okay, so the watercolor paper comes in a book. You're going to get the book and you're going to have to cut it out or tear it out, whatever you want to do, or you can do an art journal, which is what this was intended to be, an art journal. We talked about all the different colors. There's 8 different colors of the Jane Davenport watercolor inks. And depending on how much water you add, it will tone it and ombre it down into the color that you want, so that you are able to if I was that sample, Stacey, where would I have put me? You are able to paint with it. You're able to make backgrounds with it. You're able to stamp with it. You're able to die cut with it. And you choose the color depending on how much water you use. And again, if you blend them together, they're going to marry together and create their own colors. They're going to reformulate and create their own colors. We used Hero Arts unicorn inks to either stamp in white and give a very soft look, or stamp in white and then throw detailed embossing powder down on top of it, so you get that holy smokes artichokes wow white look. So from the soft, just a soft background, to a holy smokes artichokes. Now I could have done this in gold or in black or in silver. This is a pigment-based ink pad, so it's going to hold any embossing powder that I want it to hold, or it's going to act like a watermark on color. Whereas a Versamark, it's going to be very hard to see it. The white does such a soft, subtle job. Beautiful. Okay, so let me show you what's on sale, and then I'll show you samples. Okay, to begin with, my 4 die sets. It's only an I Want It All. $9.99 gets you all 4 of them. That's easy peasy. Then we have the coordinating stamp that goes with those 4 from Spellbinders, exclusively for Scrapbooking Made Simple. Doesn't that make my heart happy? It does, it does. Then we have the 3 stamps from Stampendous that I worked with today. These are a worldwide launch. Nobody else has them but us, and it'll be a while before anybody else has them. You've got the beautiful script and the kind of, it's not postage, it's just beautiful. You've got the birds and the trees and the leaves that I was playing with. And probably my favorite out of all of them, and you'll see why when you see the samples, is this background, because it really does go with every one of my dies. You can just cut until your heart is content. So those are on sale, and the flash sale is all of the Jane Davenport inks. There's 8 of them. You can buy them open stock if you want. If you buy them open stock, they're half price, 50% off. Or, so that makes them, what is it? They're $4 each. So basically you'd be almost you'd be buying, if you buy 4, if you like 4 colors, you might as well get the I Want It All bundle, because you're going to get all of them for $19.99. 4 of them alone are almost $19.99 if you just buy them open stock. Bundle. If you don't like some of the, no, you're going to like the colors. Trust me. You're not going to want to share these and give somebody else a couple of the colors. You're going to love them, and they're going to last you a lifetime. So there's your $19.99 bundle. Then we also have the tool bundle. So that includes, which I didn't use today, 2 fine tip bottles by Jane Davenport. It includes both of the water brushes I was using, the fine tip and the regular tip. It includes the misters that I was using, but most importantly, it includes the book. Now the book retailed for, I want to say, $34, $35 just for the book, and it's well worth it. The amount of watercolor paper and the quality that's in here, totally worth it. And it's a hardcover album. You're going to get the book, the misters, the fine tip applicators, the water brushes. You're going to get it all for $19.99 out the door. Done. Easy peasy. Then we will put the unicorn ink and the Hero Hues on sale for you. So you have that with the re-inkers. We'll put those on sale too. And Ozzie Andrews little brushes, because these are, you get 50 of them. I don't think anybody else puts out 50 for the price he does. These are amazing. Okay. So that tells you what's on sale, but let's talk samples. Okay, I know I showed you this one already, but now you know how. That's the stamped image inside the larger frame. And here they are, layered. Now you know how it was done. That's just a stamped image. And here, now you know how it's done. We took this and cut the windows out of the panel, colored the birds in, and put it behind the panel. And we made our own window frame. Then we have here, where we've used paper to cut all the different sizes and layer them in, and then just one where we've popped it and painted it, colored it. And here's the congratulations that comes with the set, the stamp set, that comes with the stamp set, and then all of these were just the one small set, die cut again and again. And remember, you can go through 2 pieces of paper. Here we go again. We use the diamonds. These are paper. The diamonds are paper that we stuck down to give that illusion. And then we used the die to cut the windows out and then colored behind. Put a panel behind and colored the birds behind. Then we took and used embossing powder to stamp and emboss. And then die cut out. This is Sizzix opulent paper, stamped and embossed. And used that. That is out of this shape right there. And here we threw down some ink and took some of the hexagons and just randomly did it. And then the stamp is from the stamp set that coordinates. The little stamps fit right in. Threw just one color of her ink down and kind of let it run. And look at how beautiful is that. With the mirror paper. And how elegant is this? So again, this one, done with this shape here. Again and again, and layered and vellum and trimmed off on the side so it gave a complete pattern all the way through. Beautiful, right? And here again, a little bit of ink just kind of splotched down, and in layering, just 2 layers, but down in a diagonal, and then your sentiment. Just simple and easy. And talk about simple and easy. This is a window that was cut out, so your stamped image is actually on a pane below it, behind it, and then just a few of the shapes, the same shape, and a little bit of a psh. Psh. And here with the Stampendous stamp, that's with the stamp that I was using to lift the ink off. And look at here, when I was talking about just keeping the remnants, because look at how beautiful is this. They're not layered on top of each other. They're put together so it panels all the way down. You can do this. This is easy. Again with Stampendous and their bird stamp, colored and detailed in. And a happy birthday card using the one shape to do all of your panel work. And if you're cutting 2 sheets at the same time, easy peasy. Then you just start mixing and matching your layers. As long as they're in the same color family all throughout, you're good. And here with the Stampendous, so they made it a slimline. That stamp is not big enough to be slimline, but look at, they tore a piece of paper where they put the sentiment to cover where the stamp stops. Smart, huh? From Stampendous. And I love this. There's that hexagon that I love, and I love it in the blue. It's so pretty. And again, my stamps fit in here my dies fit in here so perfectly. So that's one set of samples. And I do have layouts for you. I showed you this one earlier. And this was just taking and washing the ink back and forth. They started to blend into each other as they were drying. You've got the Inspire, you've got your stamped image. These are just extra from the leftovers. She just die cut out from the leftover here. Love it. And Gosh, did I do this one? I don't remember. Well, if I did it, I'm doing it again because I like it that much. This time we fussy cut on the edge. This is the Stampendous stamp. Beautiful. And look at how pretty and elegant. And stamped in is just a note. And this is just doing 2 layers of paper. It's simple but elegant. Simple but elegant. So using the larger, so you use the large size to make the window and the next size in to make the color. Then whatever size you need to make your mat, you use the next size up in the die to make the window. So those are all windowed in. So window cut, and then they cut the smaller layering piece to fit inside. And here, no layering at all. And we've stamped in the center. And kept it very simple on this one. Die cut the diamonds out of black, stamped on white, the coordinating stamp that goes with it, put those in white and only colored one to make it pop. And here, stamped on the largest size and then went in and colored. And you've got all the little sentiments. And here Claire did with, I think Claire did this one, maybe not, I'm not, yeah. She did this with the white embossing powder. She made a background and then she embossed with it and just detailed it out with a few little diamonds. The congratulations is part of the stamp set that coordinates with the dies. And here she stamped with, she put the ink like I did here. She did it with the beautiful Stampendous stamp. By putting the ink down, spritzing, stamping. And how elegant can you get? You've got your little sentiment, your one stamped element, and then I love this one. See, look at the drippies. Aren't the drippies great? SMS Girl Renee did this one, and I just love the drippies and the mirror paper behind it and the satin paper, and it just pops. It's simple but elegant. It just says, ooh. And here, remember what I had said about using the stamp as a pattern? Here we stamped again and again and again to make a pattern. And this is the background stamp, the text, the script background stamp, and then we stamped again and again and then filled it in with the little die cuts. Ooh. Congratulations. You brighten my day. Just a note. See, they can be die cut out. You did it, congrats. These are Stampendous stamps that you did it, congrats. I love it in the blue. All right. I think that's it. Oh, wait. Hopefully I didn't show you some of them twice. I might have. Then we have a gift for you using the background stamp and using a Stampendous die that does the gift card. And then last but not least, I do have 2 layouts for you. So here is Claire's layout. I'm so worried about getting it all over. Yeeks. Okay, Claire's layout. So here she's stamped and colored and die cut using my exclusive dies and stamps partnered with Spellbinders. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that just, it's beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. This just looks so beautiful. And then Elena just threw this one together. That's what she told me. I just threw this one together. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Love the paper. Look at how she used that die. Love it. Look at as the corners. Love this. This is stunning, Elena. And it's just paper. It's all she used was paper. All right. So my hands are inky, but happy. I hope that, I'm having a hard time. I hope that you guys had a great time today. I hope that maybe you saw something you hadn't seen before, or maybe something you had forgotten, or learned a new technique or tip or trick that you can utilize right away. I hope that you enjoy the flash sale and that if it's in your budget, don't miss out. Do not miss out. And the dies, the exclusive dies and stamps for Scrapbooking Made Simple from Spellbinders, they are a one and done. When they are gone, they are gone. And so we only manufactured so many, and then bye-bye. So much to see and so much to choose from, and maybe already in your stash, which makes it even better. All right, it is me, Stacey, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Where do you get all of this great product? Well, most of it right now, it's going to have to come from us. Maybe the India ink and the Hero Arts inks you might be able to find out and about. But a good portion of it, unfortunately, is I can't send you to a local independent mom and pop for it because, well, we've got the exclusive on it. I'm happy about that. I am so excited about that price on those watercolor inks and the price on my dies. I mean, 4 of them for $9.99. Holy smokes, artichokes. All right, you guys, I will see you all next week. I hope you had a great time. Thanks for hanging with me. Don't forget to post your comment below for a chance to be a winner chicken dinner. And remember, if you're ever needing to just feel a little bit better about things, go to last week's video 407 and read the comments. I think that it'll just put a little joy in your heart to see how many people are so grateful for so many others. All right, you guys, bye.